You know, I realized something a lot of animated movies like to do now. When they have a not very good film, they like to throw a actually creative and good short in front of it that will make you enjoy the short, and then you'll see your garbage movie that you actually paid to see. It's weird that the thing that plays before the film is like better in every way than the film. And that's my review for Hey Love. It wasn't great to me, but it was okay. Now let's review this goodnessly pointless film.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, 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 money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar.
The Angry Birds movie 2. Now, when the actual title sequence comes, I know people make fun of this all the time, but it says Angry Birds 2 movie. So that's what I'm going to call it for the rest of this review. So Angry 2 Birds movie is... I'm actually going to stop calling it that. That's annoying. But essentially, this is the sequel to the movie I didn't like at all, from 2016, Angry Birds. My short review on that one. It wasn't very good. It wasn't like the worst thing ever bad, but it was boring and it wasn't funny. It's boring and unfunny. That's my review for the first one. So yeah, let's talk about this very useful sequel. Nobody wanted this film. Nobody did. First thing I'll say about this movie is positives. It made me chuckle once or twice. Like at the beginning, there were a couple times where I thought, okay, that's kind of clever. Alright, I kind of like that, but not often. It was kind of in the first third where all the chuckles were, and everything else has nothing to really find entertaining. But the first third had some chuckles for me. That's what I'll say. There is good animation in this film. It's kind of like Hotel Transylvania for me, where Hotel Transylvania is lazy. Like, the animation isn't, like, creative. It looks good, but it's very plain and not very interesting to look at. It's not like if the animation in that film looks it's not very detailed. And I guess it's supposed to be like, oh, we're going to make an animated film, but it's going to be a cartoon, because why make an animated film if it's not going to be a cartoon? Learn from Pixar, because that's how they do it. It looks cartoonish, but it's not a freaking cartoon, so I don't like the animation in that film. I don't love the animation in these movies. I think it looks kind of lazy, but sometimes I was like, okay, that's an okay design, okay, that looks okay. It doesn't look bad to me, I just don't particularly like the design all that much. And what to be expected, this movie was boring. It's boring, okay? I'm sorry that I can't give this movie what Rotten Tomatoes freaking gave this an 80%. Like, what? How? I am done with Rotten Tomatoes at this point. Because Dora's, I think, in the 70s. It's either in the 70s or 80s. And I don't know why, but this website has become... Dora is in the same range as a freaking Quentin Tarantino, whatever. Let's talk about this movie. You know, the thing about this movie is that, guess what, it's not funny, ever. Like, the beginning is funny, but, like, eventually in the middle I was thinking, nothing in this movie's funny anymore. It's like, there were times at the beginning where I was thinking, it's kind of clever, but eventually, unsurprisingly, it stopped being clever. It just stopped being clever, and stopped being funny, and became boring. This movie is dreadfully boring. It's just boring. That's what I'm gonna say. Also, another thing that is so weird, you know your film is bad when this happens, but I freaking rooted for the villain at the end of this film, because I hate every character in this movie in the last one. They're the most unlikable people. Like, okay, so Bomb, what's his personality? He blows up and he's an idiot. What's Chuck's personality? He's fast. He doesn't even have a personality. What's Red's personality? He's a freaking jerk. He's a freaking unlikable jerk. There's this one girl in the film who you're supposed to like because she's super smart, but she's a trope and a cliche as a whole, and this film is also very predictable. Unsurprisingly, last week I saw a predictable kids movie. This week, I saw another predictable kids movie. Thankfully, I'm seeing Blinded by the Light, which I'm really excited for, and I'm freaking seeing The Farewell finally. I want to see that, but first I have to review this freaking garbage. If I were to compare this movie to the first, I don't think it's like that much worse. I just think that the first is more... Okay, this first is not much better than this movie, but it's still better, because I can safely say this movie's garbage. And it's not the worst thing ever. I yelled a lot in this movie, but I'm going to forget about it, so who cares? Overall, Angry Birds 2 was bad. It wasn't anything. I don't think anybody needs to see this movie. My theater was dead silent. I love it when the theater's dead silent, because usually I'm not laughing at the jokes, unless it's a good movie. I don't like it when the theater's dead silent then. But when I'm watching a film and it's supposed to be funny and nobody's laughing, I'm like, yeah, I like this. I liked seeing how the audience is. So, and there are also a lot of kids in my theater. None of them ever laughed. And everybody loved Dora in my theater. Nobody laughed during this movie. This movie's unfunny, it's boring, it's cliche, and it's predictable at every turn. Don't say it, don't waste your time, you won't enjoy it. You will probably enjoy it as much as I enjoyed it, or maybe freaking Rotten Tomatoes enjoyed it, sorry. I'm gonna give this movie a 4. That might seem kind of generous, but I almost gave it a 3. Okay, thank you guys for watching, see you guys next time. Blinded by the Light, farewell, those are the next 2 movies I'm reviewing, and I might see 47 meters down. And you notice this review was a lot faster? That's because I tried to make it faster and I tried to not mess around. So yeah, bye.